Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel at Islam. As you already know, it's going to go on this video if you clicked on it. Period. Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be telling you guys about my boot camp, my Navy boot camp experience, tips, and what all you need to expect if you plan on going, if you're going to ship out soon, stuff like that, stuff that I wish I knew when I left. I mean, yeah, I have family, like my sister and her husband is in the Navy, so they helped me out a little bit, but they couldn't tell me everything, of course, because they wanted my experience to be my experience. But if you're nervous, don't be nervous. Boot camp itself is just like high school, kind of, sort of, all over again. You just getting paid for it. That's the only way I looked at it, like, okay, I'm getting paid to get yelled at, I'm getting paid to eat, I'm getting paid to do all this stuff. So, honestly, like, it's gonna be okay, I promise. I'm not gonna lead you in the wrong. We're gonna talk about a Future Sailor program because nobody talks about the Future Sailor program. Like I be watching people YouTube videos or whatever. Well, I was watching YouTube videos when I first went and nobody never mentioned nothing about a Future Sailor program. So I'm gonna be the first to tell y'all. Well, I think I'm the first, but whatever. So basically the Future Sailor program is you go to boot camp, you do 3 weeks. You don't start your training after these 3 weeks. So these 3 weeks, don't think you're about to do anything for free. You just go into these classes. So you go to classes, you wake up, you go eat chow, and then you go to the class, and then you go to lunch for chow. Then you go back to the classroom, and then after that, you go back to your compartment and you just sit there and study. Unless your RDC beating y'all or whatever. But my RDCs let us study, and we have like little study groups and stuff like that. But basically, the Future Sailor program is for people who don't have a 30. It's either a 30 or a 31 on the ASVAB. So me, I went in with a 22 as an ASVAB. I left with, when I did the Future Sailor program, I left out that program with a 33. Now, you can change your job. I think it's, if you go up 10 points, you can change your job. So I went up 11 points, but I didn't change my job. I wanted to be a yeoman, so I kept yeoman. Go up 10 points, you get $2,000 as a bonus. If you go up 20 points, it's $4,000, and then if you go up 30 points, it's $6,000 bonus. And you don't get that money until obviously when you graduate boot camp. You still getting paid, but you're not gonna touch that money until after you graduate boot camp. Yeah, that's the Future Sailor program because nobody really talks about the Future Sailor program. Now, within these 3 weeks, like I said, you just go into class, so don't expect to like do no actual training of boot camp and stuff like that. But yeah, you're gonna go through the P days or whatever, but you're not gonna start training. You're gonna go straight to class. So with P days, that's basically like just setting up your pay, doing the peanut butter shot, getting your shots, dental, you know, stuff like that. Me personally, the peanut butter shot did not hurt me. A lot of people say that it hurt. A lot of people say that it don't hurt. Me, it did not hurt that bad. You like this little, it was like this pill, but you can't touch the pill. I don't know why, you just can't touch it. I forgot. You can't touch it, you gotta take it. And then it's like a line of y'all. It's like 4 people on one side and 4 people on the other side. Now, of course, it's gonna be all females if you're a female, and all males if you're a male. You're gonna be on one side and then there's 4 on the other side. All y'all gonna get it. The person gonna be like, okay, this is the white, and they're gonna be like, this is the shot, and that's all. That's literally the peanut butter shot. Nothing to be scared about. Like, I was scared, I'm not gonna lie. I was definitely scared, but it wasn't nothing to be scared about. Week 1, I like typed it in my notes for most of the stuff that I do remember, but I think also in P days you do like the little knowledge test where it asks you like about ranks and recognition, stuff like that. And I would recommend knowing your rank and recognition, your Sailor's Creed, all that stuff before you go into boot camp, or boot camp is gonna be a living hell for you. I mean, I learned some of it before I went to boot camp, but I learned I learned some more of it in boot camp. Like I didn't learn the full Sailor's Creed until I got to boot camp. With that test, if you pass it or whatever, you don't find out if you pass it or not until like the very end of boot camp. It can rank you up. A lot of people don't pass it because they don't really be studying before they go to boot camp. They just go to boot camp. Week 1 is your swim qual, and then your basic seamanship classes and stuff like that. So with the swim, I don't know how I passed the swim on the first try, but I did it. Mind you, I don't know how to swim. So once you go there, you're gonna march, you in your division, you're gonna march there. Go to the little swim place, I forgot the name of it. Y'all gonna get like a little briefing or whatever, and then y'all gonna change until y'all issue stuff that they gave y'all the first day in boot camp. Like the very first night in boot camp, you get all this stuff issued to you. So you gonna change into your swim gear. The females, you got like it's like a one piece, and I think the males just wear the shorts with no shirt. So yeah, they gonna ask you, they gonna line you up, like not line you up, they're gonna sit you and your brother there, sit in the bleachers, and they're gonna be like, okay, well, this is the safety brief. If you don't feel comfortable with swimming, they're gonna tell you to raise your hand. I did raise my hand, but I just wanted to make sure that I knew how to float. So once you do that, they're gonna take you to a little kiddie pool. They're gonna teach you how to float. If you pass the little floating part, they're gonna tell you, okay, you can start your swim qual. So once you go to the swim qual, it's a tower. You're gonna climb up that tower, and then you're gonna cross your arms like this, and then the man gonna count from 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1, and they gonna push you down, and you gotta swim from where you just fell at, well, not fell, but jumped at, all the way to the other side of the pool. So once you do that, of course, next part of the swim is the prone float. And you can either do it on your back or you can do it on your front. Also with the swim, you can either float on your back or swim on your front. I did everything on my back. I did not swim on my front because I don't know how to swim, but I did everything on my back. But then, I think you gotta float. You do a prone float for 5 minutes, and then after that, you pass, of course. Then this is one more kind of float, but I forgot the name of it. But you gotta put on coveralls, and then you gotta put air into it, and then you just do this. But they just making sure that you know how to float with the coveralls. You don't have to do it for a long time. I think mine was like for 3 seconds, and then he was just like, okay, get out. The very last part of the swim qual is called abandon ship. So you're gonna jump off the thing again, and then but this time you're gonna have on a life vest, so it's gonna be okay. Then you're gonna go into the little raft, it's like a circle blow up thing. It's called a raft. It's gonna be 2 like people that's gonna pull y'all into the raft. You're gonna go in the raft. They're gonna make you walk around it a little bit, and then you're gonna not jump off the raft, but get out the raft and swim on the other side of the pool. It's simple. That's really all the swim. If you know how to swim, you're gonna pass with flying colors. If you don't know how to swim, at least go try to learn how to float before you go to boot camp, or you're gonna be one of those people who just keep going back to swim, and then it's almost time for your division to graduate, and then you get asthma because you're still doing swim. So I recommend a lot of people to go learn how to swim before they go to boot camp. Week 1. So that class is like basic seamanship. Is gonna teach you like how to do marlin spike or whatever, or what. Basically, that's really all it's gonna teach you how to do. It's how to do marlin spike. It's gonna teach you how to do a bowline knot, you know, stuff like that. So make sure you pay attention to them because marlin spike will be coming up. Week 2, that's when we got our uniform issue, and with that you get your NWs, which is the camouflage uniform. I'm pretty sure it's the N-dubs and the boots. I could be wrong, but I know for a fact it's your N-dubs, which is the camouflage uniform. And then some more classes, of course, with marlin spike. Then y'all going, your division and your RDCs are gonna go over this thing called fold and stow and bunk makeup. It's like the first inspection you're gonna get in boot camp. Fold and stow is like, you gotta fold, you gotta make sure your rack is folded to how they want you to fold it, and it has to be in the places that they told you to put it and stuff like that, or you can get a hit on it. It's not gonna like asthma you or nothing like that, but they just want you to know how to do it. Bunk makeup, same way. They want you to fold the blanket a certain way. You gotta put the sheets on a certain way. It's aggravating, I'm not gonna lie, but I preferred bunk makeup over fold stuff, because somehow I always got a hit on like a button or something. Like, it was so aggravating. Week 3, marlin spike and drill 1. So marlin spike is literally all the classes that you went to. It's just you and your division going into entering port and leaving port type of evaluation, and I think you got 10 minutes to do it. A lot of people don't pass, like a lot of visions don't pass, but again, it's not going to interfere with you. You're just doing it just to make sure you know how to do it. You actually go do it. You're going to go into this small classroom and they're going to go over it, like it's going to be a review type of thing, and then you're going to go out there and you're going to actually do it. Drill 1. You're going to get tired of drill. I'm just going to let you know. When you're at boot camp, you're going to get tired of this thing called drill because you got 3 drill inspections, okay? You're going to get tired of them drills and you're going to get tired of PI inspections. Then was the top 2 things that I could not stand in boot camp. I hated it. At the time, you're going to do that drill over the weekend because during Monday through Friday, it's like training days. So you're going to be definitely doing it at that time. So just prepare yourself for just marching and stuff like that. Because that's exactly what it is. Drill 1. Actually, you do your drill 1 as you're going to march fight. And that, they just trying to make sure that your division know how to march from y'all compartment all the way to march fight. That's literally drill 1. 4 is firefighting, gas chamber, RDC assessment, PI 1, and knowledge test 2. So, firefighting, of course, you're going to do this. Firefighting is 3 days straight. Depending on how your training group does it, the 3rd day should be the gas chamber. The gas chamber, it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was bad. It was bad for me, like, it was bad. I'm not gonna lie. And I don't like the fact that the seats in firefighting classrooms are really small. So, yeah. The RDC assessment, of course, you and your division are gonna PT. They're gonna PT like every other day. So get prepared for that too. RDC assessment is like a mock OPFA just to see where you at. You're gonna do a push-ups, you're gonna do push-ups, you're gonna do planks, and then you're gonna do a 1.5 mile run. That's really all the RDC assessment. PI 1, the personal inspection, but it's your end-ups, which is the camouflage uniform. They just make sure that you know how to wear the uniform, of course, and then they're also gonna ask you one question about like break recognition. They'll ask you like, who's your first RDC? What does your first RDC wear on the sleeve of their dress full uniforms? You know, stuff like that. If you get it right, they'll say next recruit. Or if you get it wrong, they're gonna say question, and then they're gonna say next recruit. If you fail them, I think you can redo them, but you gotta pass it. I think the most hits you can get on that is like maybe 2. Knowledge test 2. So the second knowledge test is like 75 questions. All the tests that you take in boot camp is gonna be like 75 questions long. That test is basically about everything you learn with Marlin Spike. Every class that you went to is everything that you learned in that classroom is gonna be on the test. I failed it the first time, but then I passed it on the second time. A lot of people do fail that test. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people did fail, and then a lot of people did get asthma for failing it twice. You can only fail it twice, or you're gonna get asthma. You don't want to get asthma, by the way, because it's gonna set you back in training. Week 5 is live fire and drill 2. So live fire is just weapons familiarization. I think I'm saying that right. And they basically gonna teach you like how to take the gun apart, how to put the gun together. And then the next day you're gonna go to I forgot the name of the place, but it's really nice, like next to each other. You're gonna do some dry shooting, and then the 3rd day you're gonna actually go in and actually shoot the gun. They're just making sure that you're comfortable with shooting the gun. Like me, I was scared. I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely scared. I did not get the ribbon because, again, I was scared. I had never shot a gun in my life, so yeah. Drill 2, same thing like drill 1. You're gonna go over that drill tape. Now around drill 2, that's more RDC is trying to take it more serious. So like when y'all doing y'all downtime, when y'all not doing nothing, they're definitely gonna do some drill practices. If it's not in the drill hall, they're definitely gonna do it in the compartment. Like my RDCs, they used to change our child times to earlier so we could go to the drill hall to go do practice drill. We were so tired of drill, like we just hated it. We could not stand drill. You gotta get there at a certain time. Like you gotta leave from the compartment all the way to the drill hall in a certain amount of time. Week 6 is PI 2, divisional photos, knowledge test 3, firefighting applications. Personnel inspection 2 is that uniform is your NSUs, which is the khaki shirt with the black pants, making sure you know how to wear it, you know, stuff like that. And then, of course, again, they're going to ask you a question about rank and recognition or your general orders, which is another thing you may want to learn. Not me. Another thing you should learn before you go to boot camp. Divisional photos. That's like the fun. Honestly, that was the funnest part of boot camp for me, was divisional photos. That's when you take the picture as one big division, of course. I'm gonna insert some clips. I don't know, not clips, but I'm gonna insert some pictures. I don't know where, but I'm gonna put it in there. And then you also take your the picture in your dress blues, and or if the dress blues or whites, depending on when you graduating, behind the flag or whatever. That's the funnest part of boot camp for me. Honestly, for me, it was the funnest part. Knowledge text 3. That is everything you learn from all the classes from firefighting all the way up to live fire. This test is actually the easiest test because it's hands-on, like you actually go do the stuff or whatever. So I passed that one the first try. Firefight applications, that one is really serious. I mean, not serious. It's actually really easy. You don't actually put out a real fire. It was just like going over everything we learned in firefighting, and it was in the classroom. Our division passed, and our brother did pass as well. Week 7, PI 3, firefighting assessment, and more classes. So our firefighter application, our firefighter assessment was like 2 days. Like one was on one day and then the other was on the next day. So you're just gonna go over it and then you're gonna actually do it. PI 3 is same personal inspection, but this time dress blues, dress whites. Either if your stuff is tailored the correct size or whatever your division is, well, whatever your trainer group is graduating in. More classes, of course. These classes now, they're not like training, they're like mental health and, you know, stuff like that. Week 8, drill 3, OPFA battle station DC Olympics. Drill 3 is the very last drill that you're going to do. Now that drill is just to make sure that you, of course, know what you're doing because you're getting closer to graduation. Yeah, OPFA, same thing as RDC assessment. It's just this is the actual thing. So if you fail it, you're going to get asthma. Offer it. Battle stations, that's the night everybody looks forward to. Of course, I cannot talk about it, what all happens in battle stations. You go to battle stations at like 9 o'clock, and you do not leave battle stations until like 9 that morning. So you're there for 24 hours, you can't go to sleep. DC Olympics was cool. That was also another fun part of boot camp, DC Olympics. Now that is when all the training groups from all the ships, that all y'all gonna graduate the same day, y'all just go to the Freedom Hall, y'all just do like little activities, you know, like I said, relay race. They had like a basketball game, a whole bunch of other stuff. I really wasn't paying attention to that stuff. I mean, honestly, I was ready to go. At that point, I was ready to graduate. I was tired of being in Great Lakes. Week 9, photo pickup, more little classes, Liberty Brief, and then you graduate, of course. Okay, so with photo pickup, your division are gonna go, y'all gonna march back to where y'all took these pictures at when y'all go do the other division photos inside the little photo studio. Y'all gonna go to the same place, y'all just gonna pick the pictures up. More little classes. Now these classes again are not training classes. Well, they're training, but they're not like test. I mean, they're not classes you have to take tests at the end. They just like mental health. You know, make sure you know about drugs and stuff like that. They'll give you a Liberty Brief. I think we had ours like the day before we graduated, if I'm not mistaken. It's just basically telling you like what you can and can't do on Liberty and stuff like that. And then of course we graduated. So in between boot camp, it really all depends on when your RDCs allow y'all to have phone calls. But I think in boot camp you're supposed to get at least like 5-6 phone calls. But again, some RDCs may be lenient and just allow your division to get phone calls on days that y'all might be supposed to have phone calls. It's not on the curriculum or whatever. So like when I went in boot camp, I went to boot camp in November and I didn't leave boot camp until March. I did get asthma, but I didn't get asthma for like nothing that had to do with training. I got asthma because of some other stuff. Don't do recruit to recruit contact, guys. That's another thing. Don't do no recruit to recruit contact. don't be writing each other, don't be writing people no notes, don't get into no relationships boot camp, don't do none of that stuff. And no, I didn't get into no relationship, nothing like that, but I got asked for recruit. Yeah, so just make sure you graduate on time. Went during the holidays, went through a lot of holidays. We got phone calls. We didn't, I'm not gonna lie, RDCs, we were supposed to get phone calls on Thanksgiving, but we didn't. I did get to call my people on Christmas. I did get to call my mama on my birthday. Don't think you're gonna get a phone call on your birthday. We just happen to have phone calls today on my birthday. And that's another thing, don't tell people that it's your birthday, because it didn't happen to me, but a lot of people were saying, like, if you tell people that that's your birthday, you'll get beat. Saying, because I was turning 19 in boot camp, they would have to make you do like 19 push-ups, however old you was turning. I didn't tell nobody that was my birthday, so, and I didn't really care because I was in boot camp. What am I celebrating? Yeah, I called my mama on Christmas, called my mama on my birthday, you know, stuff like that. So this is what you should expect when you get to Great Lakes, right? So you get straight off the bus, you're gonna get yelled at, of course. They have to do it. Don't take it serious, it's not that serious. They're gonna tell y'all to call y'all people. They give you like 2 minutes to call your people. They're gonna tell you, like, say, I've arrived safely to Great Lakes. Expect to get a phone call within like 2 weeks, or a letter in 3 weeks, or something like that, and then you gotta hang up. So after that, you're gonna go into this room. You're gonna go to Diddy issue. Females with females, males with males. You're gonna strip completely naked. They're gonna give you a whole new set. Everything that you went to boot camp with is gonna be put in a box. I went to boot camp with an iPad, and my iPad was my Diddy box for that whole time. And I'm just like, dang, like, that's just crazy to me. But hey, it was in there. By the time of where you about to graduate, it's literally after battle stations. You're gonna have like this pizza party. It's gonna be in another ship. Mine was in ship 7, I think. I don't know. It was some other people in our training group in there. I'm not gonna lie, the pizza was kind of nasty, but hey, whatever. Yeah. My tips, females, is wait till you fully get to boot camp, right? Wait until it's time for your people to start sending you stuff. When your people can't start sending you stuff, ask for black underwear. I asked my mama for some black underwear because they're gonna give you white underwear, right? Which is the dumbest thing, because, you know, girls have their cycles and stuff like that. So why would you want to give us white underwear? That didn't make sense. So I had my mama send me some black underwear. Hopefully you get good RDCs. My RDCs, they allowed us to put on makeup. When it was time to go take our picture or whatever, but we had to take it off as soon as the picture was taken or whatever. But at least we got to wear it. Because when I did get asthma to my new division, the RDCs did not let them do it. But good thing I had already took the picture. So a lot of the stuff that, like, when I did get asthma, a lot of stuff that I had already did, they hadn't done yet. So I just sit there and wait for them to finally catch up to where I was at. That was aggravating, I can't lie, but it was all worth it. Yeah, honestly, that's really all I can really say about boot camp. Like, it's really easy. It ain't bad. Once you graduate, you either gonna leave that. It's either Friday or Saturday. If your A school is in Chicago, I think you leave that Friday. If not, you leave Saturday, because you're gonna every graduation is on Thursday. And now they got this new rule that where they give y'all overnight liberty. So shout out to y'all. After I graduated, I had to stay back a little bit for I had to be put in FFG for holding. And it's kind of like you're still in boot camp, but kind of not. You get a DoorDash, you still have your phone and stuff like that. You're just waiting for them to tell you that you can go ahead and go to your A school. So they finally told me I go to my A school. I went off to Mississippi. I was there. I was at THU for like 2 weeks because there was a lot of people in freaking Mississippi. So I had to wait. I finally classed up. I didn't really do much in A school. A lot of people say they had the time of their life in A school. I didn't have that much fun in A school. I mean, I only went out one time, and that was to get my nails done and go to Walmart. There's not really much to do in A school. Well, it's not much to do in Mississippi. Let me say that. A lot of people do have fun in Pensacola, in Chicago, of course. But I mean, if you went to drinking every weekend and almost getting yourself in trouble, that's what they did in Mississippi. They got drunk every weekend, even though they wasn't even in their phase or whatever. But hey, whatever. I was honestly ready to go home. So yeah, after I classed up, I went through the little classes, and we had a test like every week. I graduated A school. After that, I went home for like 2 weeks until it was time for me to go to my command. Now I'm in Washington, D.C. I like my command so far. I actually just got my first apartment, and yeah, that's my military journey so far. So if you guys have any questions, don't feel scared to reach out. I'm not famous, so you can text me or whatever. That's really all I can honestly say. I'll try to upload more now that I'm, you know, settled into my apartment. So yeah, y'all, hope y'all have a good time in boot camp. Don't be scared. You got this. Trust me when I say boot camp is just like high school all over again. Yes, it's gonna be drama. Yes, it's gonna be almost fights and stuff like that, but don't get caught up in the mix. Okay, everyone in boot camp is not your friend. That's one thing I can honestly say. Everybody in boot camp is not your friend. It may be your associates, but them not your real friends. You may actually come out of boot camp with some cool friends. Like, I think I came out of boot camp with maybe like 2. And I actually wasn't even in boot camp with them. I was in FMG with them. Still talk to them every other day, but hey, it is what it is. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, to my post notifications to get notified every time I post. And yes, I'll see y'all in the next video.